Jesus, we're so screwed if it's the Demogorgon.
It's not the Demogorgon.
Talk about setting the tone for the show. Bone-chilling horror sequence, then 4 kids chilling in their basement playing D&D is basically the epitome of Stranger Things.
Is it a 13?
I don't know. Where is it?
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Appropriate reaction. Also, that 80s theme score showing itself for the first time, and I could already tell I was in for a treat with this one.
Sausage and pepperoni.
Shooting your shot.
She's turning into a real jerk.
She's always been a real jerk.
She used to be cool. Like that time she dressed up as an elf for our Elder Free campaign.
4 years ago.
Man, a lot does change from around age 12 to 16, doesn't it?
The wolf. It was a 7. The Demogorgon. It got me.
Honesty and some all too clear foreshadowing. Might be a random Mandela effect situation, but I feel like I remember this wheel turning a lot longer before we cut away. But anyway, this whole sequence is a win. The monster finding Will in a dark forest at night where you'd feel unsafe, then following him to his home, the place where he should feel safe, but he's obviously not. That is horror. Disregarding all the controversy with Noah Schnapp, he and all the other kids were such hidden jewels when it comes to casting. The chemistry and acting ability is remarkable. That low, foreboding tone with the warmer 80s synth in the main theme is, again, capturing everything that makes Stranger Things Stranger Things. Speaking of casting jewels, David Harbour is a perfect Jim Hopper, and I'm glad this show seemingly gave him the platform to be in more high-profile stuff.
I will see you tonight.
Yeah, see you later.
Where's Will?
Joyce stresses me out constantly in the best way. Obviously, the whole season she's looking for her missing son, so it makes sense for her to be worried. But Winona Ryder does it too perfectly to where any scenes with her I get stressed the hell out, the way Joyce would be.
Step right up, ladies and gentlemen. Step right up and get your tickets for the freak show.
Just fully leaning into this 80s way of portraying bullies and watching middle schoolers try to be all cool is such a treat to watch.
My mom would not
I'll
allow
climb through
that.
your window. She won't even know I'm there. I'm stealthy, like a ninja.
I know it's been said a million times, but Steve's evolution from douchebag to cool mom is immaculate. They also go crazy with the dramatic sound effects for every transition, and I love it. It adds this other layer to some of the most mundane things.
Make fun of him, they call him names, they laugh at him, his clothes.
His clothes? What's wrong with his clothes?
I don't know, does that matter?
Keeping an eye out for any clues. Gotta love a thorough detective.
99 out of 100 times, kid goes missing. The kid is with a parent or a relative.
What about the other time?
Choice.
The one! The one!
A little hint that this show's reason for a missing child is not ever gonna happen in real life.
Will be on the test, which will cover chapters 10 through 12. It will be multiple choice with an essay section.
Expectation subversion. You think he's talking to nobody when he trails off like that, but then these three are still listening.
It's from Lord of the Rings. Well, The Hobbit.
Doesn't matter.
He asked.
I love that these two don't argue just to argue either. Their conflict slightly comes from the fact that they're both Mike's best friends more than anything, and you even see Dustin mention later in the season that he was a newer party member and he lives further away, so he expects Lucas to be Mike's actual best friend instead of him.
No biking around looking for your friend. No nonsense. This isn't some Lord of the Rings book.
In retrospect, kids that are this young being wrapped up in all the insane stuff that happens kind of reads like a YA novel adaptation, but better. I don't know if it's better than Harry Potter or anything, but better than most others.
Ring-a-ding-ding. Anybody home?
Password?
Radagas?
Yeah.
Joyce actually knowing the password like a cool mom. It's also nice to see her normal self for a little bit this season where she's not just worrying about Will. It helps to show how hard it hit her when he went missing.
My name's Benny. So I guess here. Don't worry. It's okay.
Benny being a classic Gentle Giant situation and a character whose death I was sadder for than I thought I would be.
Oh, yeah, okay, well.
Setting up the tapped phone lines.
Hey, what's up with this guy?
I don't think we thank dogs enough for telling us about insanely dangerous threats in fiction, so here's a dog appreciation win.
Mike, I hope you're enjoying your chicken, Ted.
What did I do? What did I do?
Ted just being along for the ride, but he's not all bad.
He's had a distaste for science.
Maybe you had a bad teacher.
Yeah, Miss Ratliff was a piece of work.
Ratliff. You bet. She's still kicking around, believe it or not.
Best part about small town relationships is stuff like this. They're just meeting and they end up having the same teacher.
He could have played it safe, but he didn't. He put himself in danger to help the party.
Me mean 10. Over and out.
As cool as it would be for middle school to be this eventful, I'm glad my time there lacked the missing best friends and monsters with purely teeth for a face.
Your voice, it sounds different.
Rest in peace, Benny.
But every time that you get something right, I have to take off an item of clothing, but if you get something wrong...
Pass.
Oh, come on.
Wow, not even trying to hide that he's a douche.
Freaking me out.
I bet she's deaf.
Dustin being Dustin.
How about we just keep the door just like this?
Aw, set up.
Night, all. Night, Mike.
Man, they're so cute already.
You think I don't know my own one's breathing? Wouldn't you know your own daughters?
Oof. I want to say too far, but it does help him grasp the gravity of the situation for Joyce and how she's feeling about all this.
Joyce? Well, one step from falling off the edge.
She's been a few steps for a while now, hasn't she?
Kid's missing, man. Show a little class.
Yeah, shut up, Turk.
I'm sure he's fine. He's a smart kid.
I think the craziest thing about this season is how many people start off strangers and get so close. Like, fairly normal for a season of TV, but the pacing is perfect to the point where it doesn't feel weirdly slow or annoyingly fast.
Nice, right? It's a 22-inch. That's like 10 times bigger than Dustin's.
Now I like to imagine Dustin actually has a 2.2-inch TV. Finding fun in the most random things.
I need this phone and 2 weeks advance and a pack of Camels.
Priorities.
My throat was all scratchy and I wanted to tell you, but...
Michael,
Yeah?
I'm not mad at you. All this that's been going on with Will.
They take advantage of this perspective a lot this season, which is honestly fair considering they're putting in most of the work to actually find Will.
We're going back to plan A. We're telling your mom.
She just
Move shit with my freaking mind!
You just tell your parents you're gonna stay at my place afterwards.
Coming.
Look, I gotta go. I'll see you in an hour.
We really just got peer pressure everywhere, don't we?
Sorry. Spasm.
Improvising.
We never would have upset you if we knew you had superpowers.
I just love that even with how far Dustin was, Mike thought it was worth it to lean as far back as he could just to hit him for that comment. The Upside Down theme is probably my favorite one, and I gotta commend composers Kyle Dixon and Michael Stein for their commitment to the 80s pop style synths, no matter what the situation is, never resorting to many modern synths.
Is that supposed to impress me?
You're not?
You are a cliche.
Self-awareness.
Barb, do you want to try?
What? No.
Wow, so when you think about it, Nancy is kind of the reason Barb died. If she didn't offer the beer, Barb wouldn't have cut her finger, wouldn't have bled, and the Demogorgon wouldn't have found her. The first situation where someone's about to leave the buyer's house but decides not to. Wow, this and the montage in Arcane, Netflix just loves to cut between people going through it and going at it. Had no idea Sean Levy directed one of these episodes.
You can talk to me. Whatever happened.
Man, Karen really is just trying to be there for each of her kids all at once during difficult times where they also seem like they're acting out more than usual, and you can't help but respect that.
All right, I'll go make breakfast. Okay. Yeah.
And Jonathan's weirdly in a similar situation. He's trying to be there for his mom during a difficult time where she's not being her normal self.
Vanilla wafers, apple, banana, and trail mix.
Seriously.
We need energy for our travels.
Dustin has a point. Don't skimp out on keeping yourself fed when engaging in life-threatening activities.
If you get hungry, eat Dustin snacks, okay?
Michael!
Coming! You know those power lines?
Oh my god, Michael sounding possessed every time he yells catches me so off guard. It happens another time during the season too. Not even a drop of blood on her nose. If Dustin saw this, he would lose it. I can't tell if this is genuine product placement or making fun of the insanely blatant product placement you'd see in other 80s media at the time, but embedding Coca-Cola into an important plot point like this is really funny.
Night of the 7th, we had a search party out for Will. You remember anything about that night?
Called it off. Caused the storm.
Yeah, a lot of rain that night. See any rain on that tape?
What are you thinking?
But they're lying.
Cleverness, and I really didn't expect Hopper to think of that, but he's a police chief for a reason.
Hey.
Oh, hey.
I'll admit, Jonathan's starting to become a hard guy to defend. Wait, no. It's hard to defend Jonathan.
You have a lot of nerve showing up here. You could have at least called, said, sorry I wasted your time. I'm a dick.
Yep. I'm sorry.
Making amends.
Maybe we could go out again next week. Newspapers? You guys got newspapers around here?
4 seconds of silence has never felt so long. See, Holly, this is why you're vanishing in season 5. The episode title is not confirmed as of writing this video, but I wouldn't be surprised. She has no survival instincts.
Boo.
They're really getting me to hate Tommy, so props to Chester Rushing for just boiling my blood. Ugh, the parallel to a parent carrying their kid home after they fell asleep in the car, except the parent in this case is just terrible.
Are you alive? Are you safe?
The music being so in sync with the feeling of the scene is the stuff I live for.
We are not calling
guys.
the cops. What other choice do we have?
Guys!
First of many guys moments. Hugging times 2.
He's in danger. We
What exactly was this thing? It was some kind of animal, you said?
Gotta love Hopper at least asking follow-up questions, even if he probably just thinks he's feeding her delusions.
Should I go down and talk to Michael?
Give him time.
See, Ted's not that bad. Will singing to comfort himself.
I'm not gonna stop until you answer. Lucas! Lucas, 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 Lucas.
Go away, Mike.
Persistence.
He has a birthmark on his right arm. Can you show that to me, please?
This detail of Joyce barely believing, but only for a second. Even if she had 100% confidence that it was Will, it's gonna shake you to see even a fake version of your child in a morgue.
My mom, she's tough.
Yeah, she is. Hey. She is.
That's how you reinforce a statement. The way Jonathan said it the first time had a lot of doubt, like he didn't mean it, but he said it just to make himself feel better. Then Hopper makes sure he realizes he's not lying. Joyce really is tough. All this in what, 3 lines of dialogue? That reaction, like, whoa, why are you tickling me? Oh.
She looks pretty.
Get you a diehard best friend and hater like Lucas. That look.
She saw you go up to Steve's room?
It wasn't like that. Steve and me, we're just friends. We just talked.
Now, was this before or after you changed out of your clothes?
Oof, really making you feel that secondhand embarrassment.
If anyone sees us, we look sad.
Boys, assembly's about to start.
We know. We're just upset.
Yeah, definitely upset.
We needed some alone time.
So, cry.
He was such a great student. He's gonna leave a hole in the community.
Karma's a beautiful thing.
She's real smart. I don't know where she gets it from. I've been trying to figure that out for years.
Your daughter, she got a name?
Sarah?
Sarah.
Adding some layers to this random guy Hopper's just here to interrogate undercover. Two individual plot lines converging without the characters knowing is something I think happens a lot in this show, and it's such a cool feeling.
I mean, I guess I'd rather observe people than
Talk to them.
I know. It's weird.
No.
No. It is.
More self-awareness, like mother, like son.
I'm not crazy.
I'm not saying that you're crazy.
No, you are. I understand.
Yeah, I just got off the line with O'Bannon. He said that he needs to see you at the station in some emergency.
What the hell are you talking about? I don't work with O'Bannon.
Did I say O'Bannon? I meant... Okay.
Trying your best. Sound subverting expectations with the scene, where it sounds like a knife puncturing skin, and it even sounds like you hear blood, but then it's cotton that's revealed.
Chief Jim Hopper.
Yeah, I've got Jim Hopper here.
Quick thinking. Fitting for Hopper to find this, considering the role he plays in future seasons.
The Upside Down.
Like the Veil of Shadows.
It's cool how they use pop culture references we would know to help us understand certain concepts better, the way it would help a bunch of kids to understand it.
You're choking me.
Supposed to be a little tight.
You look nice, sweetie.
Perfect representation of two different parenting styles. This dog better not die. And a good juxtaposition of families where the Wheeler family's all together while the Byers family's all broken up, getting ready separately and only interacting after they're all ready.
Wait till we tell Will that Jennifer Hayes was crying at his funeral.
This has gotta sound so wild to anyone listening. Probably sounds like these kids made a unaliving pact with Will.
So he needs the fireballs. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get you some new crayons because it looks like he's shooting cabbages.
Joyce really seems like a great mom, even getting involved with all the stuff Will does. She could have just been like, "Aw, that's cute, honey," but she tries to understand what he's drawing and doesn't dismiss it as kid stuff. I like to think the anger isn't because they bugged his house, but because he took everything apart for it.
We're in mourning.
Man, these aren't real Nilla wafers.
That is something worth mourning for.
Well, basically, there are parallel universes, which means there's a world out there where none of this tragic stuff ever happened.
That's not what we're talking about.
Oh.
Every time the kids break character and suddenly stop acting sad when they get curious is absolute comedy gold. Banger transition.
That's not true north. Are you both seriously this dense?
Usually I hate when people in general do this, like treat you as if you're insanely stupid for not knowing what they're talking about, but in this case it's Dustin, so it's okay.
Whoa, 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 hey, whoa, whoa.
Steve actually being sneaky for once.
Oh, like a ninja.
Joe Keery trying not to sing well, even though he definitely can, and he definitely created one of my new favorite pop albums with Decide.
I have not needed you for a long time.
Look what happened.
Ross Partridge is nailing this role. He's just got that perfect absent father stance.
I don't regret any of it.
And those 7 years, they were everything to me.
Have you been drinking?
No.
Shh, honey.
You know what? Actually, I have been drinking. I'm sorry.
Jim.
Just take care of yourself, okay?
Ugh, Hopper saying that he has been drinking so his wife can dismiss what he said as just a drunk comment and not a genuine moment she has to worry about. There's a bit of disappointment in her for moving on from Sarah, but also in himself for not moving on as well as she did. David frickin' Harbour.
It's Beth.
Yes, the bath. Is that okay?
The cool thing Matthew Modine brings out in his performance here is the subtle, understated implication that she's going in the bath whether she says she's okay with it or not.
Turn back. Why? I'm tired. Look, I'm sure we're almost there. Just hold on a little longer, okay?
Millie's also hitting that perfect line between showing Elle's worried while masking it with a look of tiredness.
Go away, Lonnie. Seriously. I am gonna murder.
Ooh, that's how you do a mini twist.
This whole time, you were right.
That mix of relief where she knows she's not going crazy, then fear at the fact that there's something worse going on. Never knew Stranger Things has used that aspect ratio trick. It's awesome, even if I think it's the only time we see it.
We can't just leave it.
I'll do it.
I'm
not 9 anymore.
Saved by the Demogorgon? Yeah, let's say that. Not sure if this should be considered stupidity or courage, but I'll go with courage.
I'm right here! Nancy!
Ah, same phrase Will used in his first upside down conversation with his mom, right here. What a great idea to raise the stakes after she was saved. We knew she was in the same area as the Demogorgon, which is scary on its own, but it's only after she's saved that it's revealed she could have been stuck in there just like Will and Barb.
Shut up. Shut up!
Steve saying what we've all been thinking for the whole season.
I don't want to be alone. Do you?
Both of them being comfortable enough to admit how scared they are. Trauma bonds are a special thing, not in a good way, but definitely special.
So you're saying you can detect blood?
It's just a theory.
A film, no, TV theory? Actually, you know what? Film Theorist does TV shows, and this show is so much like a movie that it's basically a film theory. Love.
Scott Clark?
Yes.
If Scott Clark got off here, I would have stopped watching. But he didn't, so thanks, show.
All three of you were being a bunch of little assholes. I was the only reasonable one.
That's Dustin for you.
We couldn't agree on what path to take, so we split up the party, and it all went to shit, and we were all disabled!
Yeah, just gonna keep winning, Dustin. Matarazzo's performance, the character writing, it's all just perfect.
You see, my son, he's been missing for almost a week now.
Good time to mention that the show almost follows a timeline of one in-universe day per episode. It's never exact, but here it does technically sync up where it was the 6th day since Will vanished and also the 6th episode of the season, so it's cool nonetheless. Saving your friend and looking like a badass doing it.
Can't have more than one best friend.
Says who?
Says logic.
Why call bull on your logic? Because you're my best friend, too.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that logic. That is just how friendship works.
Doctors and nurses all confirmed that she miscarried.
Yeah, but that could have been covered up.
You and Terry would have gotten along.
This is why one big theme I see in the show is trust. The way people either don't bat an eye because they blindly trust the authorities, but also a matter of trusting the people you love even if what they're saying sounds weird. Might be reading too much into it, but it made me think, so...
What are you kids doing with all this?
Monster hunting.
Honesty, because who would believe them? Jonathan winning this fight.
Hey there, frog face. Toothless.
Man, 80s themed bullies are just my favorites. They're complete psychopaths most of the time, and I love it. I mean, do you think Cobra Kai would be where it's at without that charm?
Holy shit.
Ooh, saving the budget for that oh-so-beautiful Demogorgon.
You better run! She's our friend and she's crazy!
Hyping up your friend. More hugging times... I don't know what the math would be for this one, actually, but more hugging. The build-up to one of my favorite action sequences.
Still pretty? Yeah. Pretty. Really pretty.
Compliments.
Mike! House, 1 second! Mike! We need to leave right now.
I think my favorite thing about Gaten's delivery as Dustin is that he sounds like he knows he's in an 80s sci-fi show, and Dustin says stuff the way a nerdy kid who's watched a lot of movies would. Oh, yeah.
Mike!
I was surprised she didn't find this earlier, and it seemed like a plot convenience till you remember that she didn't actually have a reason to go down there until now. Mike has been home and generally easy to find up until now, so it doesn't feel like she just happened to find it when the plot wanted her to.
We want to help him. We will help him. I give you my word. But in order for me to do that, you have to trust me. Will you trust me?
There's that trust motif coming up again.
A psychotic child broke his arm.
A little girl, Chief.
That tone. Do you hear that tone?
Honestly, I'm just trying to state a fact.
First time I've ever been on Callahan's side.
You gonna fight me now, too? Because you couldn't take Jonathan Byers, so I wouldn't recommend that.
The falling out that we were all hoping for finally happening.
Need a hand? Did you have something to do with this? I want to help.
Being a stand-up guy after a series of honestly fair reactions aside from letting this happen.
We have to trust them, okay? This is our government. They're on our side.
Wow, yeah, trust is really a theme here.
Shut up about Lando. I don't feel good about this.
You might say you've got a bad feeling about this?
Is that my dress?
Focusing on the important things.
Oh my, no.
Hey, you know where they did that?
What?
Melted plastic and microwave bubblegum.
Wow, so I guess every AV kid's like this, huh? That face. Wow, she's a badass now.
No more secrets. Okay.
Okay. Do you like Jonathan now?
What? No. Do you like 11?
What? No, ew. Gross.
Yeah, you can't tell each other everything. Also, Mike's reaction is so 12-year-old here, and I love it.
I'm gonna be there. And if it ever gets too scary, you just let me know, okay?
Such a special moment considering Joyce knows about Terry's condition, so she's trying to fill in that mother role for Ella bit since Terry can't. The kids understandably not knowing how to project their voice normally and instead screaming their lungs out.
Is Barb okay? Is she okay?
Goosebumps moment. Jesus Christ. Opening with pretty much the exact same shot as the first episode.
But I can't do that, not without your help.
Stop. I know what you've done. You took my boy away from me. You left him in that place to die.
The most clear juxtaposition of Joyce, someone who won't trust people based on how they appear, but instead by what they do, unlike people like Ted Wheeler. The way this montage is more low-key and builds a lot slower than most other montages, especially in the 80s.
Remember,
Straight into Will's room and
don't step on the trap.
wait for the yo-yo to move.
A plan that's not convoluted or clever, simple enough that anyone could have come up with it, which is kind of the coolest part of the show. The characters are just people who have no experience with what they're dealing with, and it makes them so much easier to relate to.
What is going on?
You have 5 seconds to get out of here.
Okay, it's a joke. Stop.
Three.
No.
A bunch of little moments of chaos before the introduction of the chaos is always a great build-up. Whoa, are these Demogorgon eggs? Is this setting up that type of Demogorgon that shows up next season? If so, here's a win for forward thinking.
You need to leave. Right now.
And now the second situation where someone's about to leave the buyer's house but decides not to. Balls of steel. Not gonna lie, I feel like strobe lights are one of those tricks to make you feel disoriented that can be taken a bit too far, like extreme shaky cam, and I would take a win off if it wasn't for the fact that it makes complete sense with the Demogorgon's actual connection to the lights and the way it's been established this season. Arson. Almost arson. My headcanon, because I'm a huge softie, is that you only hear people between dimensions if you really love each other. Like Jonathan and his mom, Nancy and Barb, Nancy and Jonathan, and every other situation.
Mike! I found the chocolate pudding!
Okay! Are you feeling any better?
Again, the yelling. Yes, it finally happened. Young love. Holy brutal. And way to dodge that MA rating.
You want her? You have to kill us first.
That's right.
Eat shit!
No! Get up!
A for effort. A monster eating one of its own. Oh, well, I guess in a way that's a cannibalism win. Brenner dies. Yay! Wow, that's a nope.
11, stop!
I remember wondering why she'd use that much power to knock back Mike, but it's just hatred. She hates the Demogorgon for trying to hurt her friends. She hates that it made her deathly scared when she first saw it, so hatred makes her out of control enough to do that to Mike. Doing the dusting effect before it was cool.
And breathe into his mouth twice. 1 second, then pause. 2,
Then 1 second.
The idea that Hopper knows the process not just because he probably got basic CPR training, but because he remembers the doctors using CPR on his daughter before she died.
Are you okay?
It's just a cut. It's nothing. You're worried about my hand.
Selflessness.
What should I do? Fireball him!
Fireball the son of a bitch.
Ah, teamwork.
The campaign was way too short.
It was 10 hours! But it doesn't make any sense.
It makes sense.
Oh, no. What about the lost night?
The proud princess and those weird flowers in the cave.
The kids pointing out the loose threads of the campaign, hinting that there are a couple loose threads of the show waiting to be tied up in future seasons. Ugh, the fact that he put it back together and left it just in case she ever comes back, but this time with no blanket curtains since she wouldn't need to hide anymore.
Oh, you'll see.
Did you give it to him?
Oh, Nancy. You'll figure it out. No, ending the season on Christmas with Carol of the Bells playing while the rest of the season had nothing to do with Christmas does not make it an instant Christmas classic. Screw it. It's a Christmas classic. I don't care. It's great. Elle being alive foreshadowing.
Careful, you break it.
I didn't realize Charlie Heaton was British until the way he said break it, so props to him for hiding it so well this season. And he did great the whole season, so we earned that accent break. Hell no, in the best way. Ending the last shot with that ominous Stranger Things theme to hint that there's more to the story. Stranger Things was one of those first Netflix shows that came out and became so much more popular than you could have possibly expected, and it made total sense why. It's got horror, action, romance, comedy, 80s nostalgia, literally all of it, but in a way that's inspired and unpredictable, not just crowd-pleasing. The writing is also super tight, and it's everything you could really want in a TV show, but it's taken an extra mile by the casting. These kids, man, I know I say a lot of shows wouldn't have worked without the skill of the lead actors, but having actual 13-year-old kids were an even bigger risk that 100% paid off, and the heart of the show being made up of so much talent is such a home run. Overall, I think it's clear that I love this show, and I'm excited to eventually cover future seasons. What'd you guys think of Stranger Things Season 1? Let me know in the comments. If you'd like, support me on Patreon for special perks like show requests, early videos, and more. And as always, you guys are an absolute win, and I'll see you soon.